And we're bringing back. How we doing, people? How are y'all today? I don't know if that introduction actually played or not. Fingers crossed it did, but if not, it's all good. Post edit, people. We'll post edit. How's everybody doing today? Guys, I'm so excited about this podcast. It's been a long time in the making. I've been like, man, Songbird, yes! Thank you so much. How is everybody? John, you're awesome. Also, Bless is in the house. Bless Blandon, how are you? Your mom made my acid, how are you? Everybody. So if y'all are new to our podcast, normally I will definitely address questions if y'all have questions in the chat. If not, I will definitely be typing in the chat as well too. I try not to talk to chat like I would in a normal stream, so we're not rude to our guest. But today we have a guest that needs no introduction. The greatest, freaking amazing, Jeanette Music. We're gonna be bringing her in, and let us. Nope. Boom! Jeanette!
Hey! Hello!
How are you doing? Can y'all hear everybody? Can y'all see her? I feel like we can. I feel like you're on there. Let's make sure.
Okay.
Yes, I think so. How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Yes, I'm doing good. We already got a question in. Look at us go. Real
We already
time
have a
here.
question in.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
They never thought
Are
it
we
would
gonna
happen.
meet our one question? This is our one question.
Quota's done, guys. Now we're just gonna laugh. And that's all.
That's it.
Heck yes. Well, Jeanette,
Heck yes.
I've been like, I don't know. I've been so excited to get you on the podcast. You're like the most like-minded and personality person I think that's on Twitch, and I'm stoked.
Oh, thanks.
I'm freaking stoked about it.
I'm so too. I'm pumped.
Heck,
Let's go.
Yes. Well, so for those that don't know, Jeanette, first of all, shame on you. Second of all, she is a singer-songwriter, musician, hilarious person, Twitch streamer. And can you tell us a little bit about yourself? Like, give us a quick little bio.
Yeah. So I stream on Twitch full time. I stream 5 days a week, and we crank out the tunes 6 to 7 hours each day. So we clock in about 35 to 40 hours of streaming a week. And yeah, I basically just grew up playing music and writing music, and grew up in a pretty chaotic artistic household. And I feel like that's where art kind of happens, in chaos. Yeah. And yeah, it just kind of turned into a full-time gig.
No, there you go. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that kind of, I guess that answers or gets into my first question. How did you start in music? Like, what got you kind of into that?
Yeah, my dad's an artist. He draws and paints and sculpts. Mm-hmm. And my mom was a dancer.
So cool.
And yeah. And so my oldest brother really got into guitar. So I remember him always playing, mm-hmm. and he would show me things like here and there. And I just remember there was always music playing in the house. Like, we had a huge boom box that just sat in the middle of our kitchen. Yeah. And we would listen to, all different kinds of music. And yeah, Meg.
That girl Meg freaking coming in clutch. Meg.
Coming in. Yeah. So it just kind of that's how it kind of started, was just always being around music, always being around artists, whether mm-hmm. they were musicians or painters or so just lots of exposure at an early age.
Mm-hmm. That's really familiar for myself. I remember my brother is a year and a half, 2 years older than I am, and I should mm-hmm. probably know it exactly instead of just being year and a half, 2 years. But he's somewhere in there. But I remember he got a guitar for Christmas whenever I think I was 9 or something like that. And being a little brother, I'm like, that's cool. I want one too. And I got a guitar, and he was he just started taking guitar lessons and kind of taking off with it. And I was like, I'm strumming open notes, and then I just kind of put it down for other things. And but yeah, do you know how you kind of started going more from something that was in your house, your brother was doing it, to you really picking it up and kind of taking it more seriously? Do you remember how that happened?
Yeah, it was in the summer. I think I was 14. Mm-hmm. Yes, I do remember this actually.
Yes.
So I was 14, and it was a summer, and I had a back injury. And so usually in the summer, like in high school and stuff, I would do like the summer sports, but
Hmm.
because of this back injury, I couldn't. So I couldn't like go for a run. I couldn't do like all the activities that I normally would do. So I was like, I'm just sitting around the house and like going to work. Like I got to do something else. And so my brother had left. He had moved out and he had left his classical guitar
Oh, there you go.
at the house.
Hmm.
And so I just started picking it up and strumming it and got like really, really into it.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's something like that. There was like the spark that was
Hmm.
already like in there, and then it just like ignited.
Dude, there you
And
go. Yes.
yeah. And so it just kind of continued. And I was like, I have to do this.
Yeah.
Like whatever, wherever it takes me, whatever happens, like I
Yeah.
have to do this one day. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so like it's different. Like I think there's a musician and then there's a songwriter, and I know that they kind of like overlap a
Mm.
lot of the different things
Yeah.
with
Yep.
that. But I've got a lot of
Yep.
friends that are just guitarists, and they are amazingly more talented than I am at guitar, but they couldn't write a song to save
Yes.
their life. And I'm like,
Yes.
so
Yes.
it's
Yes.
so weird that like I don't know, just the differences in those things.
We literally were just talking about this on stream.
Yeah.
Like you look at like Jimi Hendrix.
Mm-hmm.
He was an amazing guitarist.
Yeah.
But like, not like was never known for his like singing or
Yeah. Yeah.
songwriting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and
Yeah.
then Janis Joplin was just like really like known
Yeah.
for her singing and her stage presence.
Mm-hmm.
But like there's every, musician and artist, they like have their thing,
Yeah.
their
Yeah.
thing that they're good at.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's really special,
Yeah.
just kind of like, and my thing is actually songwriting. Like that's where I
Dude.
feel the most like
Yeah.
bliss and like at home.
Yeah.
Songwriting.
Well, like what's cool about that is like anytime that I come into your stream and you're doing your covers, like I love your originals, but your covers have just a very you feel to it. Like you'll take a song and I'll be like, check this song out. And then I'm just thinking you're gonna be like, let's note for note exactly what they do, but you put your own twist to it and do your own melodies and cool parts. It's so like I like that. I like that a lot. I think it's cool.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, do you have do you have influences like musically that really kind of that you feel like started your writing journey?
Yeah, definitely like for writing, especially like the Beatles, obviously they're
Mhm.
in my background here.
Yes, there you go.
My dad, huge Beatles fan, like grew up always like the Beatles were always playing. Carole King, huge Carole King fan. Bob Dylan, really got into Bob Dylan like in high school. Just absolutely loved his way with words. I would say, yeah,
Mhm.
for songwriting, those are like my top three, like hands down best songwriters.
That's awesome. I know like a funny thing about the Beatles. The first concert that I was ever supposed to do was a vocal recital, and I think I was like 16 or something. And I was going through a very like metal phase, I'm like metal band shirts and stuff. And
Oh, no.
I know. And
I already know where this is going.
it's so
I
good.
just love this.
My
I love this.
my vocal teacher, her name was Kelly Workman. There you go. She was so good. She was like just a savant of music. She was amazing. But she was like, "Let's do a Beatles song for your vocal recital." And I'm like, 16, rebelling and stuff. And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." But she picked the song Yesterday, and that had so many cool melodies in it. Like I loved the vocal melodies that you did in there. And that ended up being one of my favorite songs. So like you've got this metalhead kid getting up and doing like a vocal recital of Yesterday. It was like so funny. And my teacher, she was like maybe like 5'0". She was so short and just got up and just shredded piano, and I sang in it. It was like Yesterday.
Oh, they're an incredible group.
Yeah.
Just incredibly influential. It's almost like because everyone, like I remember growing up, my dad was like, "Oh, they kept up with the times," but I really think they changed the times.
They
like they
influenced
were ahead of a lot, like of every single curve that happened, through the 60s and 70s. Like they were already way ahead of the game. It's crazy to look back at that. Yeah,
it's true. I think that's really like they were definitely setting the standard, kind of pushing it forward.
For sure. Yep, they came right over and they just killed it.
Yeah. All right. So I gave you my first show story, my personal one. What is yours? How did you first get into your live shows?
My Yeah. I mean, I guess when I was like little, like I started singing when I was like 2, and I
Oh,
started singing
dang.
too. Yeah, I started singing really young.
Yeah, there you go.
To Janis Joplin. My
Yes.
mom had, because my mom loved Janis
Mm-hmm.
Joplin, and she had this VHS of like behind the scenes with Janis,
Mm-hmm.
and it showed her like on this like tour that she did. And so I'd wear like the boas, and I remember um like that was my first time
Yeah.
like really performing, like, you know, in front of just like
Mm-hmm.
family and friends and stuff. And then like as I got a little older, we would do like neighborhood things. And then
Mm-hmm.
I was also in dance, like, and I still like up to this day do dance,
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
but I was not like, I ended up, I've talked about this on stream, I got kicked out of my ballet class at like the age of 3 or 4 because I had too much energy.
Oh, dang. And they're used to it already. They're like, we got the 3 and 4s. It's gonna be chaos. And you were like,
Yeah.
nope.
Nope. They pulled my parents aside and they were like, you got to put her in like gymnastics or something,
Yeah.
because she's just too much.
Oh my God. Nice.
So that was yeah. So I think I did like one recital.
Mm-hmm.
But like I just couldn't even. I was just like all over the place.
Precursor for things to come to her street. Now
Yeah.
we know, fam.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. Well, like, whenever you, I guess, started taking music like more seriously and you started looking at like a career and stuff,
Yep.
did you start booking your own first shows, or was that something that people approached you about, or how'd that happen?
No, I did a lot of like cold calling because
Yes.
like we didn't have like email, like
Mm-hmm.
that was not a thing.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't that popular at the time
Yeah.
still. So I did lots of cold calling. I was like 14 or 15. I was like,
Mhm.
"Hi, I'm Jeanette. I'd love to play at your establishment. Like I can play all these songs." And like some people like, "Oh, that's cute." No. And some people like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
So it was
Nice.
basically like every day, like after school, there was always some sort of like open mic happening.
Mhm.
So my dad would drive me to an open mic, and then on the weekends I would just like completely pack our schedule for shows.
Yes.
And my parents would just drive me up and down the coast of
And
Maine.
you were like
oh
14, 15 in that area?
Mhm.
Yes. That is awesome.
Yeah.
Nicely
Yeah.
done.
Well, they were like, if you're gonna like play out, like you got to find these shows on your own. And I
Yeah.
was like, okay. So I got really good
Dang.
at talking to people on the phone.
Yeah. That is freaking awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
That's very, like, honestly, I kind of grew up in a really, really, really small town. Like, my high school was like maybe 300 people in total, like all the classes.
Yeah.
And
wow.
same thing. Like, I was just calling Nashville. I was messaging and emailing people.
Yeah.
And I was just like, hey, I would love to play. And they're like, all right, yeah. And did you get paid for any of the shows whenever you were growing up?
If it was open mic, no, but
Mhm.
if I was like the feature performer,
Yeah.
like it wasn't, I don't think it was much, but
Yeah.
you know, it was always really good
Mhm.
experience, you know, for me at the time.
Yeah.
And I also like played, so we live like pretty close to
Mhm.
Portland, Maine.
Oh,
So
nice.
I would like in the summers, I would like busk just on the street, which also like
nice. There
helped
you go.
with like, you know, nervousness and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think being able to do that, like doing the cold calls and like booking the shows and kind of going through that is, I feel like what is it, paying your dues, you know?
No, yeah, definitely. It's so much easier now when you just like email. You're like, hey,
Yeah.
like that's 10 times easier
Yeah.
than be like, can I speak to the person who books the show? Like, is it the manager? Like, is it the cook of the restaurant? Like,
For
who
real, yeah.
books the show?
Tony does it in the back room on Thursdays.
Yeah. There's always
Yeah.
yes. There's always
Mhm.
that guy that comes out. And
Yeah.
"Whoa." It was always like an angry man, and I was like, hi,
Yeah.
I'm Jeanette. It was high pitched.
Yes. Dude, nice.
Oh, just like it cringe when I think about it now.
I'm telling you. And like, I don't know. I can only imagine like the music scenes here and there are probably very similar in a lot of ways like that. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just Nashville is a pretty rough one. Well, so like whenever I know you said that you went from your professional career at first and then you kind of transition into music and now this is your profession. Did like, well, I guess before we get to that, how did COVID affect your musical career? Did it, like, with the stopping of live shows and stuff like that? How did that change your musical career?
Yeah, so I started streaming on Twitch the year before everything
Oh,
kind of
nice.
like, so I started streaming in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like total shit at it. Like really bad.
Mm.
Um and I was like, I just really want to focus on my live shows, and my
Yeah.
husband, he's the techie one, and he was like, I really feel like Twitch is where it's at. Like you should really focus on that. Like I feel like you could do something great. And I was like, but I just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing on there. Like I don't know. Like
I'm so
there's
lost.
no like it's so lost. Like there's so many screens, and like there's people talking, but like I can't see them. Like he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh my gosh, you sound like you're like way past your age." Um and so I was like really going at it with like live shows. So I'd work like
Hmm.
my 12-hour shifts,
Oh my
3
gosh.
to 4 days a week, and then like play live shows
Yeah.
throughout the
God.
week. And then stream. Like I would try to stream like 1 to 2 days a week.
Hmm.
And then I really started seeing like a shift in streams. Like
Hmm.
more people were coming back, more people were, remembering me, and like
Yeah.
the relationships really just started to build. And I was like, oh, I kind of like really like this a little bit more. And then
Hmm.
like the world just exploded.
Dude, yes.
And as we know. And at that time, I had already kind of started thinking like I might be able to do this. Like I might be able to take it to Twitch and like
Yeah.
maybe do it part-time or something.
Hmm.
And then like everything just kind of was like swept right from underneath me, because like
Yeah.
the hospital went crazy,
Oh
and like
man.
we didn't know what was going on, and it was just terrifying. And once I kind of like got my bearings,
Hmm.
I would say that it exploded my music career
Yeah.
in just kind of like a backwards way. There
Yeah.
was no more live shows,
Hmm.
but I ended up like I was streaming,
Hmm.
3 to 4 days a week
Yeah.
on Twitch instead of doing the live shows.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I would say
That's
I would never change it for the world.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's your story is very unique in that sense because most people I've talked to a lot of musicians that were touring before COVID and then they just recently like transitioned onto Twitch just kind of out of a necessity of like some
Right.
outlet, And
Right.
like you said, even though like, your first year you might have been rough at Twitch and stuff, you got all that experience and like kind of just
Yeah.
really were able to build on that from what you had.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
something I don't think I've ever really thought about in the way that but you're a respiratory therapist, right?
Yes.
Right in the mix of COVID. Like I don't know why I've never thought about that like that. But Jesus, I bet that was insane.
It was, yeah, it was very stressful, and
Hmm.
yeah, it was really hard. It was really hard because I was trying to keep up a stream,
Yeah.
but like the shifts were just emotionally,
Yeah.
mentally, physically just incredibly draining.
Dang.
So I would work because I ended up going like full-time night shift. So I'd work a 12-hour night shift and then
Hmm.
come home and sleep for a few hours, and then like try to stream and like pretend that I was okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just like it's so hard to do when you're just really not. But
Yeah.
yeah, it was really hard. It was really hard.
I could only
Never want to go
imagine.
back.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it was very hard.
jeez. Well, how did you actually get started on streaming? And I guess you kind of answered that a little bit, but do you know how you got drawn into the Twitch streaming in particular?
Well, my husband, when we like first started dating, because we've been together for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I was 18 when I met him, and I remember, I was like, yeah, when we met, I was like, I really want to be a musician. And I
Yeah.
remember him mentioning it then, like, oh, there's this really cool platform like Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like, and at the time, like it wasn't that big for musicians, but there were musicians on there.
Yeah.
And I was like, like where? I was like, where am I supposed to get the equipment? Like what? I was like, bah. So I
Yeah.
just kind of like, and yeah, it wasn't until like we bought our house and like, fast forward, we're married and whatnot.
Mhm.
And he's like, you should really just try it. Like, just give it a
Uh-huh.
try. And
Yeah.
he's like, if it doesn't work, like, so what? And I was like, all right, I'll try it. And yeah, so if it wasn't for him, like
Mhm.
pushing me in that direction,
Heck yeah.
like I would not, would not be on Twitch, and I definitely would not be nearly as successful.
Well, freaking
Because he's our tech
cheers to
guy.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
So when anything breaks every time, like even the chat, we're all like, Nick,
Get in there.
here.
Yes. Seriously, like, oh God, give it up for musicians' spouses, because you know they say behind like every successful person is like a man is a woman, woman is a man, and all that. So yeah, definitely give it up for them. They're freaking awesome. Kudos, Nick.
It's true. Yeah, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Nick.
Nice. Hopefully we don't have any like streaming malfunctions and get him in here during the stream. Which also I have heard Nick might have also had another guest appearance in your stream getting waxed. Did that end up happening? How did he take the wax?
He was such a baby.
Speaking from experience, I can't say that I've been a baby about it at all, but there might have been tears. Might have cried just.
I was like, because I just recently went to the hairdresser, and like when I'm there, she does my eyebrows.
Yeah.
And they pour hot wax on your forehead.
Oh my God.
And they rip the hair right out from the roots.
What?
And like we don't flinch. Like I did not. I was just like, oh. And
are you
like
done yet? Yeah.
and then like Nick, all I did was the strips. Like I didn't even pour wax on him. It was just like the strips that you buy on Amazon.
Oh my God.
And he was like, oh my God. Like, and he was all clammy. And I was like,
it's worse.
like what? Like it's not that bad.
Oh,
it's
man.
not that bad.
I think I almost passed out. I thought she waxed my armpit, and I thought she ripped like the whole armpit off. I was like, oh my God. And I was sweaty and stuff. So like the next day it looked so gross. It was like patches of red and like long hairs everywhere and baldness. It was horrible. It was a really bad experience. I think that was on a 24-hour stream too. So she just randomly come in and like wax my leg or like get my arm, and I'd be like,
oh my God, that's a great way to stay awake though.
Yeah, hey, there you go. That's true.
Oh my God, that's a great way to stay awake. I didn't even think of that.
It was extremely, extremely painful, but it was a lot of fun. Met a lot of good people that day. Met a lot of great people. Yes. Huh. That's a terrible way to stay awake. Yeah, everybody in here is like, no, don't do it, John. Unless you pass out from the pain. Exactly, Aaron. Huh. But yes, everyone in here loves the things that you do to Nick on stream. So, heck yes.
Oh yes, he's a great team player. Usually, what happens is I create something, we complete a goal, and then I tell him like after we complete it, I'm like, oh, and by the way, we have to do a workout together on stream. He's like, what?
How
we have to dress like Richard Simmons. He's like, what?
How does this happen? The exact I need to do this to Jody. That's what needs to happen. We need to get like sub goals down here for me to do stuff to Jody, and then I'll do it to her. But it's always like, get Jody to do this to John, and then I'm like, it's rough.
They love to see the men get tortured. I think that's what it is.
Maybe that's what it is. We've got a good formula going here. Nice.
Yeah, so true.
So how did you decide, like, I'm always so interested in this, but like whenever, because you had a successful career, like in a very, like, most people would probably just be okay with just doing that for the rest of their life. How did you decide to like step out from that and be like, I'm going to follow my passion and I want to go full time with this? How did that transition happen? And then how did that make sense, like, for you to be able to do it and still be okay?
Yeah, I mean, I always knew I needed to do it. Like, I really did try. Like, the first year I graduated and I was like 22, 23. And that first year I was like, okay, this is okay. Like, I can work a regular job and then like do music as a hobby and like play shows when I can and just like live a normal, very balanced life. Like I can do that. And I tried. And it seemed like once a week I was having like major breakdowns. Yeah. And I was like, I can't do this. Like, this isn't me. And and Nick noticed too. He's like, you're just not yourself. And I was like, I feel like I'm doing this because this is the conventional thing to do. This is what people tell you you're supposed to do, but I'm not happy. Like I was happy, but I was just content. You know, I wasn't pushing out of my comfort zone. You know, there was nothing there anymore. And I was like, I'm someone who I need to feel uncomfortable. You know, I have to like venture out into new things and like feel uncomfortable all the time. I can't just be like, okay, I did this and now I'm good.
Yeah.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just not like that. So it was like I wrote a song. I wrote Superwoman because of that, because it was like a day where I just had this horrible, breakdown, and just this feeling of like, okay, like this is what you need to do, because music is more than just a hobby to you. It's your passion. Like it's what feeds your soul. And you can't just go on and just keep ignoring it, because it's not going to lead to anything good. And so it was just like, okay, I'm going to grind it out, and eventually I'm going to be able to make the switch. Like, I'm just going to figure it out. And that's basically what happened. Yeah.
That's freaking awesome. Seriously. Like, and
it was terrifying.
Yeah, I can imagine. That's such an like, I don't, like Chad saying, it's a very inspirational story, but it's like, it's a very relatable thing too. Like I've talked about this a few times to people. I feel like you're meant to do something in your life. Like, I don't know if there's like destiny or like what people want to call it, but I think we're all put here for a certain thing, and like, since 2 years old, you've been singing, and like all these things kind of, you can look at them like that's, but I feel like we're put here to do something. And the more that we resist it, and the more that like chaos is brought into our life in like a bad way or like brought down. So I don't know. I think that's really awesome. That's very inspirational. And
we were just talking about this last night too, because I played the song, and now like I have the looper all set up so we can loop it and stuff.
Yes.
And like I was talking about that feeling of like, it almost felt like every day, like going through the motions, going to work, whatever. And it just felt like my soul was just clawing at me on the inside. Like, listen to me. Like, you just get that awful feeling in your chest. It's just like, you are not going down the path you're supposed to. Like, it's a comfortable one. You're going to be like completely fine. But is that like all that you want? Like, no. Like it was like every day. It was just that feeling of just being clawed at. And I was like, okay,
I'm doing it.
I'm listening. What? It's a horrible feeling, but it's good. It triggered me to listen.
I was gonna say this a little later on, maybe. I mean, this is completely a scripted podcast. Anybody that wants to know, but no. There is a part in one of your songs, "Girls Like Us," which I feel like is an anthem for me. I'm just saying. But you say, "Don't follow your dreams. Take them with you wherever you are." And I freaking feel like you have done that. Like, that's freaking awesome. You wrote that song. How long ago did you write that song?
Like 3 or 4 years ago.
You brought it into existence. So that's freaking awesome. I really like that. Yeah. Very inspirational story. I like it a lot.
Thank you.
Well, do you have any tips for people that are wanting to go full time, or that have a passion that they're wanting to pursue, that they're kind of like on the fence about or scared of doing it?
Just go for it, and don't stop. I literally say it to my stream all the time. Like, just go for it. If it's in there, if it's in your soul, and that's what you're supposed to do, you find ways to just do it. And it might be years until it happens. I think that's the other thing, is knowing that like it's not going to be instant. It's not instant gratification like a lot of us are just constantly used to nowadays. Like, it might take years, but if you really want it, grind it out and you'll get there. It just is going to take some time. But if that's what you love to do and that's what you're passionate about, everything else will just fall into place. Financially, like everything will just fall into place, because it's what you're supposed to be doing.
Like, so I 100% agree with that. Like, there's it's kind of like a smaller instance, not an entire life-changing thing, but me and my wife we went to New Orleans, and while we were there, saw like a ton of homeless people, and I felt horrible. And just every person that I like walked into, I was like, and then we ended up meeting this, it was a young boy and his mom, and they were like, it was a horrible situation. I felt so bad. So we wanted to help them. We helped them out. And then like while I was there, I was like, Jody, I want to do something more. I have to do something more for more people. Like, it's horrible to see that. And so we started doing this thing called Cheez-Its Nashville, which was the first, like, it was like a huge food run that we did for like the homeless people in Nashville. And we like based it around like Cheez-Its. So we had like literally an entire truck bed full of Cheez-Its. But then we also had like other food and stuff. But
Amazing.
right, but we did that for a few years, and then we did this thing Socktober, and we had the plan to get a ton of like care packets together and all these things.
Oh, so
And
sweet.
right, but we day of, like, all this planning had gone through and stuff, and I was very busy, and so we had like maybe just my car full of donations that we were gonna literally go hand out to people on the streets. And
Right.
and I was like, I'm gonna go for it still. We're gonna do this. I'm not just gonna drop this off at a shelter or whatever. I'm gonna get on the street and we're just gonna make things happen. We're gonna go meet people and
Yep.
get this stuff to them. Well, I posted the address that we were gonna be like starting from, and I hadn't talked to anybody else coming there. And whenever we showed up the address, there was like 5 truckloads full of people that had like made snack lunches, like got sack packs together, like complete like tents and stuff. It was freaking awesome. And like, that's one of those things I feel like you just got to show up and do
Yeah.
do what you feel like you're supposed to do, and things are going to work
Yeah.
out. Like that
Yep.
literally, that was probably the one point in my life where I was like, wow, I just said to myself, I'm going to go do this and it will work out. And it was like 5
just
different
does.
truckloads. It was awesome.
Yeah. It's like the law of attraction. You just
Yeah.
like put it out there and it just like
Yeah.
positive energy does wild things.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people, so Wasteland said, do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And I mean, I know.
You'll work 10 times more,
Yes.
but you're gonna freaking love it.
Yes. And
You're gonna work so much more, but you're gonna love it.
And I think like like a lot of people don't see the behind the scenes that you've got going on with the stream, because like a lot of people might just catch your streams, but you are like one of the most active people that I've seen on your stream, off your stream. You're everywhere, and your community is amazing. Like there's so much work that goes into it, but
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. And I say this to my husband all the time because he's like, would you ever want to go back to just working, at the hospital,
yeah,
and just, working a regular job? And it is, I mean, while you're there, it's not easy, but like it's 3 days a week and then you
Yeah.
have the rest of the week off. So like, that's a great schedule. And I was like, I will work 100 hours a week doing what I love to do
yeah,
and getting 3 to 4 hours of sleep a night to do what I love.
yeah.
And I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yes. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, like there's that security blanket, and I like business owners understand this, and entrepreneurs and musicians, and there's a security blanket that comes from that 9 to 5 job. You're going to get paid that much money, and you know that your bills are going to be paid for and stuff like that. But so there is a little bit of probably, I'm sure, nerves that come with the like, let's just do this
definitely.
leap of faith. We're going for it. But
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know. Would you trade that security for this?
No.
Exactly. Yes.
It's easier. It's easier because like we don't have kids, we just have 2 dogs.
Well, the
But
fur
I mean,
babies.
granted, they are very expensive because they have very expensive taste.
Yeah.
But no, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna figure it out. I'll figure it out. It'll be
Heck yeah.
fine. I'll figure
Heck
it
yeah.
out.
I like it. Well, have being in both worlds, and I know now you said you're going to be doing live shows again soon, aren't you? Or have you already resumed live showing?
Yeah, I've done a few since things like kind of started opening up. But I just don't love them the way like I used to. I was like, and I think maybe you were in the stream when I was chatting about it, but I don't miss like the drunk crowds or the late nights. Like we streamed late last night, and I was just like, oh, well, I'm basically already in my PJs. I'm already at home. Like this is great. I don't have to worry about like driving 2 hours home. And I mean, live shows are really fun. Once in a while to like get out and test out some new material. But my heart's just not there anymore.
Yeah, that was actually the next question. Like the difference between live shows and streaming. Like I haven't played a live show since I started streaming. So like I don't know how to compare the opposite now. Like I know how to like the energy and stuff, but what is your take? Like How do you see the difference between the two is from a musician's perspective?
Yeah, I mean, the last live show I did was, I think, in December,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like 2 hours away, and it was really late night. Like the show, we played until like 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And we took a couple breaks like between sets and stuff. And I don't know, it was just
Yeah.
I just feel like I can really be myself. Like I'm just like really out there and just like crazy and loud. And like the stream just kind of knows that and they expect
Yeah.
that. And it's just like a fun thing. And I'm just like, I just feel like I can truly just be myself.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas at like live shows, like people don't know you and be like, oh my God, this chick's like wild. And like, why is she wearing like slippers on stage? Like I just like it's just, I don't know. It's
Nice.
not my thing anymore. And then like,
Yeah.
trying to have a conversation, like,
Mhm.
drunk people come up, they want to be like, oh, when did you learn to play guitar? They're trying to like
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
to someone who's like completely intoxicated. And
Mhm.
you're like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
I don't want to be here. And
Yeah.
I'm so like I'm honestly an introvert.
Mhm.
So like being around like crowds and stuff, I'm just like, oh my God, get me out of
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
This is just so much.
It's so weird. Like, I think I was actually talking to you in your chat about this maybe a while ago, but I feel like you can interact with people so much more, even though like a
Yeah.
lot of people are like IRL friends. What about your IRL friends? Or like older people will be like, but do you know them? Like you're on the internet.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
well can you know somebody? But like,
My dad's first reaction when I first told him about Twitch, he's like, "What?
yeah.
Like, stop
Yeah.
watching Dateline. That's like 1% of the internet. Like,
He's like,
stop."
haven't you seen that Sandra Bullock movie? They're dangerous people out there in the internet.
Oh my God, the
Yeah.
net. Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah. They'll take your they'll take your stuff. So,
No one's gonna know who you are.
yeah. But like, I really feel like it's such a different experience. Like, I don't think that I've ever been at a concert especially like I go to a lot of metal shows, so like I can't
Yeah.
imagine being in a metal show and being like, what kind of guitar is that in your background there, sir? Like, like have some conversation with the musician up there. There's like no conversation,
No.
And it's like it's rude to have a conversation with like the person as they're playing a
Right.
song in a live show. But
Right.
like here we can be like, really like that guitar? What, did you make that yourself? Like, how'd you do that? Or
Where'd you get that dress?
yeah, exactly. So like, I think I just
So
and
true. The
yeah.
connections. It's
Yeah.
different.
And Chad
Yeah.
said this earlier. I think this was Aaron. They said you are authentic, and that's why you have so much more fun. And I completely agree with that. I think like on stage in a concert in like a live setting, you kind of get this persona in a sense because people are there to see
Yeah.
you, and you're like, there's like, in a weird way, there's more of a barrier between you and the crowd than there is with us in our chat right now, which is
Oh, for sure.
like
100%.
how backwards is that though? It's so weird. It's
It
so
is
weird. But,
It's
like,
weird.
Here we're just able to be us when we don't have that.
Yep.
Like, I'm on a stage right now and a lot of people are staring at me. There could be like you
Yep.
could have thousands of people in your chat, or you could have 50 people in a concert crowd, and it's like it just feels more like this is more comfortable. And maybe it's not like that for everybody. I don't know. I need to ask a lot of
Yeah.
people this question. Get a survey going.
No, I completely agree. Like I can't even think of anyone that like went to any of my live shows
Yeah.
before Twitch
Mhm.
that like I got really close with.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I can't think of one person really.
Mm-hmm.
They would follow me on Instagram and maybe like some Instagram posts, but like otherwise, like I know like so many of the people in your chat right now, like
Mhm.
I know them, like I know
Yeah.
so much about them, and like I care so much about
Yeah.
them. We just created this like family, this connection that
Mhm.
like when one of them is missing in my chat, I'm like, where are you?
Where'd
Are
you
you okay?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
like I notice when people aren't there,
Yeah.
and that it's just totally not like that for live
Mhm.
shows. You're just like,
Yeah.
I don't know who you are, and I
Yeah.
may never see you again. Like it's
Mhm.
just not like that on Twitch.
And I think the cool thing about that is like in live shows, you can have fans. Like there's definitely people,
Yeah.
and there's maybe like that
Mhm.
disconnect between like artist and fan or whatever. There's like I guess
Yeah.
they call it like the fourth wall or something like that. But like
Right,
Twitch
right.
and the communities that you can build here, it's like it's
Yeah.
completely different and like a more
So
authentic
different.
and like a awesome, like you said, like I love the people that are in my chat. My mods, like they've got the key to my freaking kingdom and they'd have the key to my house in real life. You know what I mean? Like I
Oh my
love these
god.
people.
Oh
So
my
like
god. Yes. 100%.
yeah.
Couldn't
And
agree. Yeah. Yeah, my streams would be total chaos. Like
yeah.
really chaos if we didn't have mods. Like it would
They're
just be
already
nuts.
slightly chaos. So let's just
Yeah, it would be insane.
yeah,
Unmanageable chaos. Yeah, if they were there.
I
It's so
guess.
true.
I totally like it though. And so like we were speaking about COVID bringing a lot of musicians over to Twitch. Has there been any musicians that you've seen personally where you're like, yes, this person's on here, I can like talk to them now or something like that?
Oh God, yeah. I feel like well, like the charity event we put together, like those
Mhm.
are all
Yeah.
musicians that I connected with
Mm-hmm.
through Twitch. I was like, oh my God,
Freaking
like
cool.
this is amazing.
Yeah.
And it just feels like we like throughout every stream, we've got like new music streamers like
Mhm.
popping in, and I'm like, oh my God, let me help you.
Yeah.
Because now that like, not that I'm not a pro with like
Dude.
tech stuff, but I'm like, if you have any like, if you need any like tips on like growth or like if you're
Mhm.
having difficulty with this or like use my channel for this, like I want to be that like mentor because
Yeah.
I kind of had like a couple people that I could ask questions to, but I didn't have that one person that was like there, where I
Yeah.
could just like, oh, like this is bothering me. Like I've watched hours upon hours upon
Mhm.
hours of YouTube videos and I just can't figure it out. Like it's just nice to have that person that you trust
Yeah.
to just like shoot a quick message to. So
Mhm.
I'm always excited when I see new music streamers and I'll message them off to the side, be like, hey, this like your audio sounds really good or
Mhm.
whatever
That's
it
so
might
cool.
be. I just
Yeah.
I love doing that.
Yeah. I think it's awesome. Like I feel like for me, whenever I first started Twitch, I'm always trying to like pay forward my first week of Twitch. Like if I didn't
Yeah.
have that first experience with there's two streamers that I ran into just like by chance or fate or whatever it is, but both those two people were like extremely supportive to me, and they were like I didn't have Twitter or like a lot of different things that streamers have, and
Yeah, no, I didn't either.
yeah, I was like, dude, I'm really wanting to be a streamer. Do you got any advice? And they were like, get Twitch. Message me on Twitch. My name's the same on there. Or get Twitter. And I was like, yeah, of course. So like, I don't know. And I think that's so cool that you're the same way. And like, there's maybe
Oh, yeah.
like you said, like a lot of things that you weren't able to, figure out on your own that you had to figure out on your own. Now you're helping people do
Yeah.
it yourself.
Oh,
That is
definitely.
awesome.
Yeah. It's so fun. And then you get to like watch them grow. It's like
Yeah.
oh, like a child, like, oh my God. Like,
Yeah.
and then you can like laugh about, the things that, oh my, remember my audio was so bad or my lighting was so bad. And like all the
Yeah.
things that you just learn, it's
Everyone,
really fun.
yeah, everyone in here is saying that you are an amazing tech support person. Okay, so they're all giving you tech credit.
Lies. That is not
Dun dun
lies.
dun. Yes.
No, you'd never want me near your computer. I promise. It'll blow up. Just me near it. Something will just shit the bed like real quick.
For real, like I stream on a Mac, and I have no other friends that are like Mac streamers, and I'm like, how do you do this? And Google doesn't even know. So I trial and error, lots of hours.
Google doesn't even know.
I'm like, Google, help me. What can I do? They're like, I don't know, dude. Get another computer. Janet is the streaming IT department. Yes, there you go. Whenever Twitch has issues, like support issues, they're sending Janet, like Jeanette, freaking just correct it. I know. I can't read. By the way, I just read your name, Jeanette, as Janet. We have to ask this question. It has to happen officially on stream. We've talked about it so long. Can we get an official name for your dog? Is it Elliot
Hold
or
on.
is it Elton?
Let me give you him. So you can have
We're about to see the dog himself, and we're about to know the dog's name and pronunciation. Oh,
Okay,
dog!
He's super
Elliot.
pissed.
Oh, he's so angry
because-
but cute. Look how cute he is.
He's so angry because he was just sleeping. And he literally heard me say, let me grab him. And he looked at me like, you're not talking about me, right?
Not this guy, huh?
He is
Yes.
This
Such a
is
cutie.
Elton.
Oh my gosh.
Elton John.
Elton John. Yes.
King Elton.
Okay. So it's not Elliott Smith. I'm going to write that one off. I'm going to go in and write off Elliott. It is officially Elton. Behave you, scamp.
He's not blue. Yes, he's not blue.
Not blue either. Oh my gosh. We've got a lot of
He doesn't-
misconceptions.
He does
here
not
in
look like a
chat.
bunny.
He does have cute little floppy ears, though. Look at his little cute floppy ears. You know who?
Elton, hold on. Let me hold you closer to the camera.
Oh goodness. He reminds me of like what Master Splinter? I think it's Master
Splinter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Master Splinter.
Ah!
You literally like that's his like doppelganger. Is
He's
Master
so
Splinter.
freaking cute. Oh my god.
He's super cute. But he's super like we call it like I just got him a dog bed that's a throne. Like it's a king
Yes.
throne. Because he literally thinks that he like owns this house.
You should
Look
just
at
have
that
him up
face.
there somewhere. Like have him up in your stream somewhere. Just have a little Elton cam. Have a little Elton cam. It took me a second. Took me a whole moment. But we got it. Yes.
We actually did for the longest time. We just need
Yes.
to, because we also have the puppy as well. But now the puppy's like chill, more
Yeah.
chill. So like they'll both just lay in. He's looking at me like, "Can I be on camera?" he loves attention. This one's just like, "Get me out of here."
Nice.
But yeah, we definitely need to bring the dog cam back
Such
for
cute.
sure.
I know, right? We've got like I've got Crow, and she'll randomly come up in my stream room. Like we'll let her out back, and she'll be whining at my studio door. So like I'll let her in, and she'll just like hover over me. She's like standing up on the table, like
What are you doing?
over my face.
What are you doing, Dad?
I know, yeah. What's in here, huh? Huh? What's this? Who are you talking to?
What are you doing?
Yeah. she's
All
such
right,
a
I'll
ting
set
dong.
you down.
All right,
Get
here we
in
go.
the stink
Elliot
eye.
not only owns the house, he tries to take over Jeanette's stream. Dun dun dun. Yes. Earn. Yes. I like it. Little dog, like, I'm telling you, dogs are children. They're our babies. And yeah.
Yes. And the small ones, I always say this, like the smaller the dog, the bigger the ego. Like he'll take on a big dog any day. He'll
Yeah.
go right up to them. Like, oh my God, like this dog could kill you. And he doesn't care.
Yep.
What? Who do you think you are?
Yeah. We my sister-in-law has he's like a really tiny, like, I don't even know. If Jody's in the chat, if you could tell us what he is, he looks like a sewer rat. He's a big old sewer rat looking dog, but he's some kind of a chihuahua or something, long-haired chihuahua. I'm not sure what he is. Something out there. But like,
Can we quote that? Like, he's a big
he's
sewer
a
rat.
massive sewer rat. He's a big old, but he's like so small he could fit in my dog's mouth. He's like just a tiny, and he is just like, he thinks Crow's his girlfriend. I think is what it is. He's just straight in love with Crow. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
he's a Corky. What in the heck is a Corky, Jody? A Chihuahua?
Oh, a
Yorkie?
Chorky?
Oh, Chorky, Corky. I cannot read. We got to work on this.
Oh my God, I saw you post that comment on Twitter of how someone was like, "Oh my God, like you need to
Yeah.
invest in like how to read or whatever." And I was like, "Oh my God, that's hilarious."
It finally happened. I was like, and I just responded with like the nicest. I was like, look, thank you so much for the advice. I can't remember exactly. I was like, but you can rest
You
assured.
were so kind. You were so
Yes.
kind.
It's
I was like, that's amazing.
all the proceeds are going to help John Reed More Gooder Foundation, and we'll do it. We're gonna do it. I think I'm gonna start like a
Your
sub goal
reading
for
is
like.
atrocious.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yes.
I was like, that is probably one of my favorite comments that has happened in my life. Your reading is
Your
atrocious.
reading is atrocious.
That's
You
such
should
a-
not be laughing at this. I was like, wow, you have too much time on your hands.
I know. Sub goal learns 10 words. Yes. How to pronounce things correctly. Huh. And then like I didn't even know, like I just asked somebody on stream too. Miseris apparently isn't the correct like pronunciation of MRS, and I was like, had no idea. I was so lost. And whenever they were like, "Are you serious right now?" I was like, "What am I saying wrong? What am I saying wrong, guys?" And they were like, "Miseris? What in the heck is Miseris?" MRS.
Oh my God, your wife and I were talking about this
Yeah.
when she came into my stream and she was like, I don't know, his friend was like, hi, and he told him that this was the right way to say it, and he listened.
Yeah, so I think what happened was MRS. How do you pronounce it? What do you do? Because, like, John reads, like, Zane spells. See, I haven't even ventured out onto saying Zane's name because I was like, maybe I'm reading it wrong. But it's Zane McBoss, and I feel better now. I feel better. But there's another name in chat that I'm like, I don't feel like I'm going to venture there. How do you pronounce that one? Bianca?
Becca?
Becca. Oh my
Becca's...
God. Bianca. No, okay. Okay. We've got a Becca in chat. Hello. Hello, Becca.
Becca Stanoosh. Oh, she's, I think Becca's part of the raid train.
Shucks.
Or am I looking at the wrong thing? I think this weekend. Becca, are you in the raid train this weekend?
Oh, yeah. It's because I'm beyond exhausted. Filter is busted. You did not just say that. Tommy, I'm so sorry. I've let you down, my friend. We're really going to work on it starting this next year. That's our 2023 resolution. Read more gooder.
Yeah, yes. Becca's in the raid train this week.
Yes.
I was like, I'm pretty sure I saw her name on the event list.
Well, now I can actually say your name correctly, Becca, and I am very excited to have you on the raid train. Heck, yes. Yes.
You thought your name was Bianca, but it's okay.
Well, I'm glad I didn't just accidentally call her Bianca. Well, that brings us to our next question. Oh my gosh, we're just naturally.
Oh boy.
Well,
cranking through.
Yeah, I know, right? And it's scripted. It's because it's all scripted, and
it's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite musician that you have recently discovered that you can kind of give? I know that. Well, this is probably not even a fair question to ask because there's probably a lot, but you can name them all. Go for it. Favorite musicians that you've met recently via Twitch.
Oh my gosh.
I know that's probably a huge list. I'm so sorry.
There's so many.
We're going to give it a top 8 MySpace moment right now. They're going to be like, what? I'm not in this top list.
What's recently, like within the year or the month?
Yeah.
The year?
Yeah.
I met Becca within the year.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see, who else?
Surely I'm in this list. 0. Yes.
Let's see. When did I meet? Maybe Scotty was the beginning of this year. I think. Yeah, Scotty makes music. He's awesome.
Oh yeah, I actually met him through you. He's freaking awesome.
Yeah, he's incredible.
Yeah.
A Grady Music. We call him Wompy in my stream.
Wompy, nice. There you go.
That's his name. But that's his name. That's not his name. His name is Aaron. But
he's getting it changed. He's getting it changed legally.
Yes, he's working on it.
Nice.
Yeah, we met him within the year, and he's
cool.
now streaming because he was originally streaming games.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I really want to stream music, and I was like, do it.
Yeah.
So he started streaming music, and he's amazing. I'm trying to think.
Wampatat. Nice.
Yeah. So his original username was like Womprata.
Oh my gosh, nice.
Something when he first joined our channel. And then he rebranded when he started doing music streams.
Yeah.
That way everything, lined up and so we still call him Wompy, but I feel so bad when new people like come into the stream. So like, who the hell is she talking to?
Yeah.
Like, who is Womp?
I totally get it. Look, the name that I meet you with, you got it. You're gonna carry it with you because I'm horrible with names already. Anyways, I'm really bad with names. There's
I'm the worst.
Yeah, we've got a mod for GG's.tv, and she's actually like over all the mods. Her name is now it's like Sonar, I think, but it was Straw Benji whenever I first met her, so I just call her Benji all the time, and it's been a solid almost a year and a half. And I'm the only person she's like, anyone else calls me Benji and I will kill them. But you can call me Benji. And I'm like, yes.
yes. That has happened. Actually, really quick, like funny story. We got raided when I was like slightly newer to Twitch. And one of the users, his name was supposed to be Rogue Nerd.
Rogue
but
nerd? Yes.
rogue nerd. But when he came in, like it was a really big raid, so I was just trying to like greet everybody, and I called him ragu, like spaghetti sauce,
Mhm.
and it ended up turning into this whole thing that like that's like he started streaming and like all of his emotes are spaghetti sauces
Mhm.
and like that's what everybody calls him now, even though his
Aw,
name is still like
yeah.
rogue nerd. Everyone calls him ragu, and he tells me this, like he still stops by the stream to this day and he'll even like play
Aw,
games with us,
that's
and
so
he tells a
cool.
story every time. It's so funny. He's like, I literally rebranded because everyone knows me as ragu now. I'm like, oh my god, like I'm so sorry. He's like,
That's
no, it worked
awesome.
out. Like I got emotes
Perfect.
made. I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
What are you gonna do when he gets sponsored by Ragu and he's just got like a
right,
wall behind him of Ragu freaking sauce?
right. I'm like, I get like 5%
Yeah,
of that, like some sort
100%.
of royalty.
Dude, it's gonna be just freaking like sauce royalty in this.
He's gonna be bathing in spaghetti sauce. Yeah.
He's gonna start doing hot tub spaghetti sauce streams. This is
Oh
gold.
my god.
There you go.
Oh my god.
Hot tub
Oh my
spaghetti
god.
sauce streams. Make
We
it
gotta
happen.
tell him this.
Yes.
Oh
there
my
you go.
gosh, he would just get a kick out of this.
He's gonna be like a millionaire by the age of like
Oh.
next year.
By the age of next year.
Nice. Well, okay, so normally I'll do deep dives on my guest, and in your
Oh,
case,
Lord.
I was able to listen to a lot of awesome songs, a lot of great covers,
Uh-huh.
and one stood out to me in particular that I was like, oh my god, I hope you do more of these.
Oh no.
You did What If Ariels was written
Oh,
by a pop
okay.
singer, and I absolutely loved it. Do you
Oh,
have
cool. Okay.
like, how did that come about, first of all? Like, do you listen to System of a Down? And then also, do you have any ideas for future song covers in that same style?
So we actually did every Thursday is a theme day,
Mhm.
and the theme days come from like big goals or sub goals that we like met,
Yeah.
and then I'll like plan them out. And so we did an entire metal day. So
Yes.
I took metal songs and I turned them into pop songs.
I freaking
And
love this.
I just did them like on the fly. So like
What?
someone would request that, I would like look at it, listen to the song, and be like, okay, how can I turn this into like acoustic poppy
Yeah.
song?
Mhm.
And so I was just doing them on the fly. And there were a few that I was like, oh my gosh, this actually sounds like pretty good.
Yeah.
Like some of them are complete, garbage,
Mhm.
but like some of them actually like turned out pretty good. And that was one of them. Everyone was like, oh my God, you have to do this. Like,
Yeah.
you have to put this somewhere.
Mhm.
So I recorded it off stream. And yeah, I definitely want to do more. I like
Yeah.
took notes on a bunch that day.
That's freaking awesome.
That the chat enjoyed, and it was really fun to do. It was a good like test on my musical ability
Yeah.
too. By the end, I was like, I don't think I have a brain.
It's mush. It's mushed potatoes in there.
Yeah, I think Erin was there like the entire time she was modding.
Nice.
And like I'm pretty sure I went cross-eyed by the end of stream. It was like 7 hours. It
Oh
was
my
like,
god, trying to
how
like
can I
translate
turn
metal
this?
to this. Oh my gosh, that sounds rough.
Yeah.
I was gonna
Yeah, it
suggest
was
you should
fun.
do that again. I think that sounds freaking
Yeah.
awesome. But like,
Yeah, it was fun.
That's very
Yeah,
cool.
lots of fun. Definitely do it again.
I think like metal music has a bad rap a lot of the times, but there are a lot of really cool melodies in there, and I think like
Beautiful.
you pulled them out really well out of Ariels, and I
Oh,
would
thank
love to
you.
hear the like other songs. Do you have like future ones that you're gonna be doing from maybe even that night? Do you have some that you could maybe list off for us?
I can't remember. I
Nothing off the
literally made a list on my phone.
there
I
you
had
go.
like 5 that I was like, oh, I really like these.
Yeah.
I can't think of any,
We'll
but I
come back
will.
to it. Nice. There you
Yeah,
go.
come back to it. Come
Yes.
back to me.
Heck yes. But that's freaking awesome. No, I really like that idea, and I think that like that could take off. There's a lot of metalheads out there that really listen to like other type of music as well too, and
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
that's really cool. She says it's
Yeah.
garbage, but to me it sounds good. Everybody here loves what you did, and then she did awesome with "Freak on a Leash."
Oh, Freak on a Leash. Freak on a Leash.
Nice.
Yes, that was one of them. Yes, Freak on a Leash.
That would be so
Yes.
interesting. I haven't heard the cover, but I would love to. That sounds very cool.
Yes,
cool.
that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, that was really fun.
That's
yeah,
such a
super
different
fun.
song too. Like, jeez.
So
Very cool.
different. Yeah. And so what we did is on a category on the song list,
Mhm.
we put because I was like, I want to put these on the song list, but I don't want people to request them and think I play them as like a metal
Yeah.
person, because I don't have like I don't play metal music.
Yeah.
So we made a category in the song list like metal goes pop is what it's called.
That's
so
awesome.
that when people request it, they know it's going to be like a pop cover from a metal tune.
Yeah. Are we talking post-modern jukebox? Dun, dun, dun. Possibly. And like, oh man, here we go. This is like one of those challenging my entire intellect. Here we go. Name Rage Alcoholic. Is that right? Did I get it? Alcoholic?
Yes, Raging Alcoholic.
Yes! Write it down, people. We're making strides. YouTube guy will make you proud. He says... He says, I am a metalhead and I love listening to Jeanette. That's freaking awesome. My grandmother sleeps to metal? Yes, I love this person already. Nice.
Raging's amazing.
Yeah. But that's freaking cool. I really like that idea. I think that keeps things fresh and interesting. And then especially like a lot of people that might come to your stream that already like listen to pop might hear these songs and be like, that's not half bad. And then, that's pretty cool. Very
definitely. Cool. Oh yeah, so fun.
Well, I know that we had talked about this a little bit before stream, but can you give us a little bit of insight on your future album? Is it going to be like a full-length album? Do you have a theme for it? Any of that stuff that you can give us?
Yeah, so I'll be recording and releasing 14 songs to release throughout the year. But they're going to be released, like it's going to end up being a full album, but they're going to be released as singles.
Yeah.
And it's comprised of older songs that I just never recorded and or never released, and like brand new songs that I haven't even played on stream yet. So yeah, it's like nerve-wracking because like, recording, you're obviously but it's super exciting. And yes, we definitely want to also do more merch. We did a smaller merch release last year. But it was literally like people would PayPal me and they'd be like, this is my size, this is who I am, this is where you send it. I'm like, and so it was very stressful. So instead, like my husband and I have been looking at like opening like a little merch store, so that way like all of that's like kind of taken care of, and it's just like okay. So I was like, I'm gonna send it to the wrong place or the wrong address or something. So we're super excited about that. Yeah.
Everybody's calling for mugs, by the way, just to let you know. Mugs are in the house.
Mugs have to be, obviously, like I'm obsessed. Like, look at this. Good vibes only.
Oh, it's freaking awesome.
$2.
Yeah. That thing is huge. Jeez. Or you have small hands. I don't know. I never can tell.
It's a little bit.
Nice. But yeah, like, so I think that's kind of the way of the future now with releasing albums. Like you said, you're going to kind of do them as singles and then release it as a full-length album eventually. A few bands that I've been listening to have done something very similar to that. Is it going to be, are they going to be available as like, do you know how to do that? I guess breaking it up as an album or singles on like Spotify and Amazon and stuff. Do you know how to do those or?
Yes. I did it for my like last release. But I'm only gonna have like maybe a couple of the songs on Spotify as like a teaser, and then the rest it'll be on Bandcamp.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. Do you have a title for this album?
I've got some in the works.
Dun, dun, dun. No surprises here, people. No spoilers in this chat then. Done.
There's some titles in the works.
There you go. Nice. All right. Well, I'm stoked. I'm stoked about it. Do you have an idea of like a date that we can look forward to that the entire, or I guess the first single would be dropped? Do you have an idea on that?
Hopefully we're hoping to shoot for like April, May is what I'm thinking. The first one will be like completely done, because the others, or at least a good amount of them, I'm gonna like mix and master myself.
Oh dang, there you go.
As kind of like a a quarantine album kind of thing. But there's a few that I'm gonna send off to have like professionally mixed and mastered. So yeah.
Are they all primarily going to be acoustic solely, like acoustic and singing, or is it going to be like electric guitar? We're going to have some other instruments in there as well too, or?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah. We've actually got some Twitch musicians that are joining
Oh.
us
Oh, dang.
on some of the songs. So very excited.
That's freaking awesome. Heck yes.
Yes. Yes.
Nice. Well, there you go. Guys, look, a lot of people were like, you're not even going to get one question out. You're just going to be sitting here giggling the whole time. Look at us. We're two professional people. Questioning
ADHD is an amazing thing.
We've done it, guys. We've really done it in here. But we do have a couple of fan questions that we have had submitted, and I'm really actually interested in these. So, first one that I know most of them I'm like, what's your favorite color? But this one, the ADHD helped you guys, right? Yeah, I totally
did.
Mm-hmm.
We just like hyper focused and just like
yes,
got it. Yeah.
See, like, okay, do you have, I guess, the ADHD? Clearly we got the personalities for sure.
We do.
Yeah.
And like again, when I was younger, like the teachers always said like she's crazy, like in the classroom, like they always tried to tell my parents that I had it. So like I'm sure I do. I've never had like a formal diagnosis, but I've found ways to manage it to get stuff done. But yeah, I don't have like a formal diagnosis, but I definitely fit the bill.
Yeah, same here. I take that back. Okay, so I might have been on Ritalin for the good part of my childhood, but we got off of it. We're doing good. We're doing good now.
Yeah.
But I think like having that part in our brain, like I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just we were like really hyper as kids or something like that. But
yeah,
like I think having that part in our brain helps with music because you get it, like especially singing and playing guitar or singing and playing piano. You're doing so many different things, and your brain can be like everybody's like, oh dog or oh squirrel. I guess they'll say that a lot of the times. They'll call you squirrel or something like that. Yeah. So like your brain gets to do that whenever you're playing music. You're getting a squirrel all over the place. You're like, squirrel over here. Do a little rhythm and lead and then sing.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, I gotta play C chord. I gotta look at my tabs. I gotta talk to chat. It's like perfect amount of distraction. Yeah.
I feel like if anything, Twitch has maybe found a really good home for all of us squirrely people out there. Okay? Because we're able to do a lot of things at one time and just feel okay with it. And yeah. But here we go.
So true.
Yes. Fan questions. Here we go. We've got this for real this time.
Okay, we got this.
ADHD. Definitely not here.
Here we go.
Favorite thing about streaming? We did it.
Oh.
Got it out.
Favorite thing about streaming? Oh boy. I think it's the relationships. Like we were kind of talking about earlier. It's the relationships I get to form with everyone in the chat.
Yeah.
Like if they are hanging out and they're willing to chat, it's been really awesome. Like over the past couple of years, like getting to really know these people. Like they're not fans.
Yeah.
Like they're friends, they're family, and that connection is just nowhere else on social. Like you think of social media platforms, like I can't think of anything else where there's like that vibe of true family.
Yeah.
I'd say that's my favorite thing. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. I would have to agree with you. I love that. I love that aspect of it.
Yeah. You just like log on. You're like, oh, I'm home.
Yeah. And if you're having a bad day or
cool.
something like that, and then you get on stream and you're just like, why was I so upset? What's going on?
Yeah.
The stress is just gone. Yeah.
Like right before you're like, oh, I don't think I can stream. Like, it's just been like such a bad day. And you're like, okay, just push through. And then like as soon as you just start like chatting with everyone in the chat, you're like, I don't even remember what I was upset about.
Yeah.
It is
exactly.
a very special thing.
I totally agree. Here we go. Another one.
Okay.
And this actually is coming to fruition, I'm assuming. But if you could collab with any streamer on a song, who would you do with that with him? Why? But I think we might. I don't know.
There's so many. I have to pick one?
Dun, dun, dun. Well, I guess you've already got some collabs coming up, right? With some streamers.
We do. Yes. We do. Yeah. Well, I'm really excited. I will say I'm really excited about the collab that A Grady Music and I are doing.
Oh, there you go.
Very
Heck yes.
excited about that. Yeah.
Nice.
Super excited. Yeah. Beautiful.
I'm stoked to hear that one as well, too. And is that, I know you've played one of the songs of theirs on your stream, I think, correct? Like you've done a cover of theirs or?
Yeah. Yep.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's an incredible songwriter. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Heck yeah. And then here we go. this is kind of a fan one, but also I'm very excited about this one. You have a lot of different days of the week that you do different themes. Do you have a favorite stream theme?
Um, I'd say I do love our Thursdays because Thursdays are just like, well, I might be dressed up as a unicorn, or I might be like in an elf costume, or we might be doing like a metal ghost pop day. Like it's just like whatever, like it's just complete chaos.
Yeah. Pajama Princess Daisy with a raid.
Daisy!
Dun, dun,
Daisy's
dun.
one that I just recently met. And Gigi,
awesome.
yeah, these are some newer streamers I just met too. Yeah. Incredible musicians.
Well, thank y'all so much for the raid. Y'all are freaking awesome.
Yeah, welcome in.
Yeah. We were just asking about some of the people she just met recently, so that's freaking awesome. Nice.
Yes, Jamaica, hello.
How are y'all doing? So PSX, which I can't remember where it is, but somewhere up in there it said that you've got a name for them that you call them. But they ask, what is your normal routine for a daily streaming day, like pre-stream, prep work, and then after stream? So like a normal routine for you.
Okay. Yeah. So I stream Monday through Friday. I usually get up between like 6:30 in the morning. Always got to take the pups out. So like take care of the dogs, and then I'll usually work on like whatever it is that day, whether it's like editing a TikTok or posting on social media or teaching a vocal lesson. Like the morning is always a little bit different depending on the day. And then I'll do my workout routine to bring my energy levels like at a normal person.
For real though. Yeah. Same.
Yeah. My sister-in-law's like, how do you exercise like that? I'm like, because I would be like running around this room if I like didn't. So I'll do my workout routine and then have some lunch and then stream, and then after stream I'm usually working on something. I feel like there's always just stuff that comes up, like getting ready for a charity event, or I do help some streamers on the side, like with like content creation and stuff. So either I'm working on like my own content or helping somebody else on their content. Or writing songs or whatever it might be. But yeah, there's just lots of work that goes in before and after streams.
Isn't that like, that kind of goes back to what we were saying, like you said you would gladly work 100-hour weeks to be able to do this, and it's essentially what you're doing. Like there's not an off switch for this, you know?
No, definitely not. Not.
That is insane. But yeah, definitely I think that's pretty awesome that you're able to do all that stuff though. And let's see here. I know that we had another question, but I guess before we do log off on here, we've got a charity stream coming up that you're going to be a part of, and I know a lot of people in chat are also going to be a part of. So I'm so excited about that. I know we talked earlier about like how I've kind of always really liked helping the homeless community, but this is a very, very, very cool charity that we're going to be helping out. And what's your time slot for the charity event?
I'm right after you on Saturday.
Yes.
You're rating me.
I'm rating you. Yes. Heck yeah. You know, like, I'm trying to think of how I ended up coming across your stream. I know that it had something to do with like Gigi's. Like, I think you were streaming and I saw your stream and I was like,
yes.
I don't know if I rated you or if I just came to your stream, but like,
no, you just hopped in and you're like, you're from Gigi's TV. And I was like, you are too. And then we just were like, wow.
Yeah.
And then I like hopped in, you followed and you hung out for a bit. And then I followed you. And then I think you were like streaming that night. I was like, John, you're like, Jeanette. And they were just like, yeah. And it was just like, just chaos right from the start.
Dude, I think that's why. I don't know. I see a lot of my chat in your streams and your chat in my streams. I think that's why. It's because we're like, I don't know, very similar people.
Yeah.
And I freaking love it.
Yeah. We're the least chill streamers on Twitch.
Yes. 100,000%. And you didn't sleep. I remember that. Aaron said, oh, yeah. Yes. But
Yes, because I get wrapped up. Like whenever I click into your stream, there's reasons why
Oh,
I like literally can't because like
yeah.
you stream later
Mm-hmm.
and like if I click into your stream, I'll be up until like 1 a.m. because
Yeah.
I'm literally peeing myself. Like I'm crying, I'm peeing, like I'm just laughing so hard.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, it's 12:30. My husband's like, are you watching John again? I'm like, he's so funny. Like, oh, like who is this guy? Like I'm just
Nice.
laughing so hard. Like that night when I had to hop in your Discord and tell you how to say Elton's name, like I was dying laughing.
I don't know why, but I literally cannot. I read it and I'm like, it just the wrong word just comes out. Like I read it correctly, I feel like, but then it just the horrible wrong one comes out. Jamie said he found you through the Elliot conspiracy, and now you've adopted Jamie. Yes, Ajamex. Oh God, see, I know him as Jamie.
Oh, his name's Jamie.
But I don't know.
His name's Jamie.
How do you pronounce his screen name though? It's a good question because
I just say AJ.
there you go, AJ. Yes.
I'm like AJ.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't even tried the whole name. Ejects me?
Ejects me? Oh, wait, yes. He said that it's like an anagram for his name, but.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
that makes sense.
Freaking awesome person. He's an author as well, too. He does he writes a lot of cool books. He's a really good dude.
What?
I know, right? The most
learning about this now?
interesting people you'll meet on Twitch. It's freaking awesome.
I love that. That's incredible.
But like that's one thing that I like about your stream too. Like I can get on there and y'all are going off on the most random thing. Like it's a music stream filled with just the most random funny stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. I feel at home there as well. So I like it. Like last night
well, your streams are the same way. I don't know how many times you're supposed to be playing a game and you're drawing.
Yeah.
You're doing a sketch.
I've noticed, by the way, as I'm like reading the questions, I looked and there's just this on the back of this paper, which is like, why? Why is this on here? So every time I've done this, I'm like, Wiener, why did I do that? Why am I doing this? Or, for instance, anybody that was on my stream last night, this jar right here, it took an hour to open a jar on stream. And it was just me grunting and trying to open a jar for literally an hour. And people were like, what is wrong with this dude?
Like
so
you're
wrong.
saying we talk about random stuff, but I don't know. You're like right up there.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Every time I've hopped in, you're never playing the game you said you're going to be playing.
No.
Like, some other chaos is happening. And that's like, I'm like, even when you are like trying to play the game, like something in chat is like pulling you out of it just because it's so funny.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny.
Yes.
That's the beauty of it though. Like when you log on,
Yeah.
like you have no idea what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You have absolutely no idea. And I think that's the funnest part.
You know, like, that's where I would say, like, kind of maybe, in a sense, live shows were, like, kind of our, like, stomping grounds for evolving into doing this. Because, like, live shows is the same thing. Like, especially with, like, a band. I remember there's this one concert that we had, and we were playing at this, like, dive bar in Nashville, and it was just, like, this hole-in-the-ground place. There was a literal weak spot in the stage right in front of my drummer, and I had to walk back to my cab to like push a button, like edit an effect or something like that, or maybe I had to adjust the volume live. So I'm like doing that, and I'm playing the song, and I'm about to walk up and start singing, and I step on this spot, and I go back, and I like landed into my drummer's crash, and my drummer's crash landed into his head, and he's just playing still, and he just looks at me, he's like mad mugging me, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I look up, and like I didn't fall like completely, I just almost ate it. And I made it back to the microphone before it was time for me to sing, and I look over, and there's a lady like front row. She's like in this booth, and she is just losing her mind laughing at me. I'm like, no one else in the whole audience noticed that I just ate it, and my drummer's bleeding out of his forehead now. No one else noticed but like that lady. And I was like, yes. And so I looked at her and smiled and like did that, and then I started singing. And I feel like live shows prepared us for streaming, you know? Got us ready for
Definitely.
it.
Although I don't have like nearly as cool like live show stories like you do.
Got horrible ones. Got horrible ones out there.
I don't think I have any like, yeah, I have nothing that compares to that. Like absolutely nothing compares to any of yours.
I don't. Well, like, you know what's cool though is like I think if somebody went to your live shows and saw you, just like if they just were able to see the singing part, like they would appreciate you for your talent and your
Yeah.
singing and stuff, but they wouldn't
Right.
really get to know you and like you as much as they do
Yes.
in the stream. And I feel like,
So true. Yeah.
yeah.
And they would be shocked at how small I am. That's like every person I've met from Twitch, I think the first thing they said, like, "Oh my God, you're so small."
They're like at live shows, the microphone's like up here, and then you're like,
Yes. I get that all the time. Yeah, they would always like, like some of the places they like set up your mic,
yeah.
and I'd be like, I need to lower this. I can't.
Yes.
And I have to play guitar, so it's not like I can hold it.
Nice. That's freaking awesome.
So
Well,
fun.
seriously, I'm so thankful that you came on here. I freaking have loved this
Yes.
conversation. This has been like the most
Yes.
relatable podcast that I've had. So thank you for real.
Thank you so much for having me. It was
Heck,
such a great time.
yes.
Such a great time.
Well, and so where can everybody find you that is unfamiliar with you? And yeah, when can we see you stream next?
Yeah, you can catch me here, twitch.tv/Jeanette Music. And I stream Monday through Friday, and we start at 1 p.m. Eastern time. And we usually go for about 6 to 7 hours each day and
Nice.
just play music. Yeah, so you can mostly just find me here.
Yes. Just listen for the screams she does at the poor mods. Oh, nice. Okay. Slightly abusive to her mods. I like it. I like it.
No. They are the ones to start the chaos, but then they're always the ones to rein it in.
Oh, there you go.
So we
See,
always have a lot of fun with that.
at least yours rein it in. Mine just literally scare me randomly. I almost have heart attacks. We get horrible things. Horrible things happen. Yes. But yeah, you mean follow the mag. Nice. So for anyone that has not followed you yet, yes, Tommy has just dropped your Twitch link in the chat. Thank you so much, Tommy.
Thanks, Tommy.
And yeah, so future plans, you've got a new album coming out. You've got some new merch. We'll be linking your stuff in all of the descriptions of our YouTube and Twitch videos. And again, thank you. Thank you so much for coming on here.
Thank you so much for having me. And this was a great time. You're a great host, John. You do a wonderful job.
Yeah. I was honestly concerned I wasn't going to get out these questions, but we did it. We got all of them. We got all the questions. We did them all. We've done it.
Throw the notebook. We did
done.
it.
Yeah.
No one can like talk trash about us. We did it.
Yes. Yes.
Proof. Recorded proof.
Well, again, Jeanette, thank you so much. I'm going to log off here and tell everybody goodbye, but you are amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Take care. And guys, Jeanette.